Good afternoon, everybody. Today's event is talking about the fiscal cliff and maybe the impact of this fiscal cliff to the Alexander Hamilton's overall socioeconomic financial plan. Now, we all know that we need to save $1.2 trillion in the next 10 years. That's nothing. That's only chump change. But what is the impact to us? Now, there's going to be two speakers here. One is myself, and also my co-author is Ms. Patty Baggett. And we're just going to give you a simple overview of that type of structure, what we're going through for the last 20 to 30 years of the financial cliff. And these are the main subjects we're going to be talking about. We're going to give you a short briefing on what's going to happen in 2013. We're going to examine why and how we came to this approach from the early times of our republic, and how and why Alexander Hamilton set everything up. So, quick introduction, get down and dirty. I'm going to pass you over to Patty right now.
Hello, I'm Patricia Baggett, and I'm here to talk about what's happening in the financial world. Well, there's a host of tax changes that are coming up for 2013. If Congress isn't able to reach a consensus and a compromise or make tax changes. So what are the taxes that are going up? The Bush-era tax cuts are going to be expiring. The 2% payroll tax is going to end. The temporary tax cuts for businesses ends. And there's other significant changes. Millions of taxpayers will feel the pinch. And what does this mean to us? It's hard to say what Congress is going to come up with as far as a compromise. And businesses are asking for some tax reform that's going to have some meaningful consequences. Bush tax cuts alone would impact 100 million Americans, and 80% of Americans will see some form of tax increase next year. So what is Congress doing about it? Well, it's really hard to say because they haven't really had much time. They've been back in session since November 13th. They need to act before December 31st, or else the tax increases will occur, and that will have some big impact. Many economists are concerned that if they don't come up with some solution, that we may have a new recession.
So the next item we're going to talk about is how do we come up with this particular thought process. And that thought process is, how do we set up our structure of having a finance and having a sustainability within this type of overall recessions that we go through. Alexander Hamilton, even before we became a republic, was charged with a couple of things. He was charged with making out and developing and doing research on the peacetime military. He had an input in developing and providing input in the Northwest Ordinance. We looked at our public credit, the duties and taxes that we came to be that we received to help us develop the Northwest territories, and this is how we bought a lot of our new territories that they sold to us, and also the mint and the manufacturing report. So let's go to the first one. The most significant item here, and the most fun thing was, one of the very first nations in the world, we decided to make our military a peacetime military. We decided to make an academy that would actually teach some of the people how to make something. And those items was this, the engineering branch. With those type of engineering branches that we had in training our new people, we developed roads. We helped with our different type of waterway structures for commerce. With his hands and with his inputs, he provided several key items with the Northwest Territories. Now remember, all this stuff was done in the thought of strengthening our nations with finances. Just keep that in mind. The biggest thing that helped us, which impact us now, is what we're looking at over here. The first national education system that impacts you and I. That impacts the school, that impacts the development of people to learn anything. And we're all in tune to help the nation here, help the people to advance. It took the burden from all the states of doing the war debt. Oh, that war debt was okay, but that was to control all the new land, which was double the amount of land that we were going to bring into this new republic. The beginning of our Coast Guard service. This was the service that paid for the Louisiana territories. This was the service that paid for the Oregon Territory. All the land that we sit in today was donated and given by this particular service, by enforcing the laws that the young republic developed. But also to help operate and run the government. We're in a situation now that the government